Lexington-Fayette Urban County Council's Social Services and Public Safety Committee voted to pass recommendations for addressing gun violence onto a full committee.
WKYT's Jessica Umbro was at that meeting and explains some of those recommendations for what local leaders are calling a public health crisis.
All Americans deserve to live a life free from firearm violence as well as from fear and devastation that it brings. It will take the collective commitment of our nation to turn the tide on firearm violence.
Loved ones of people lost to gun violence sat before the Social Services and Public Safety Committee as 8 recommendations to mitigate gun violence were presented, including creating a plan of action for communities impacted by gun violence, strengthening community connections, and defining gun violence as a public health crisis.
That move in and of itself is just words, but I think it's important when local government says something that we back it up with action.
A powerful moment in this meeting was the recognition of all of the loved ones who have lost somebody to gun violence, particularly those who showed up to show their support for these recommendations. And multiple council members said unequivocally that gun violence is a public health crisis.
I have Priscilla Sandiford. Her daughter Amaya Sandiford was taken in 2022.
It was a powerful moment that many council members said was a stark reminder of what they say is necessary progress towards mitigating gun violence in Lexington.
Without putting faces here, I don't know if we get the full impact of how much it really means to our community, what we, as your representatives, what we can do to try to help this health crisis.
In Lexington, Jessica Umbro, WKYT.
The committee voted to pass these recommendations onto the full council, where they will be able to discuss more of the concrete details to put these recommendations into action.